I'm Candace.
And I'm Ripley.
And I'm John.
And this is Comicsplaining.
The show where I'm drowned in birthdays.
They keep happening.
It's birthday week, which means
it was John's birthday on Friday, and then it was my birthday the day after that.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, guys.
We don't say that to you. That's our word.
I know. I'm saying happy birthday to you guys, fucking losers.
It's just one of those things that you don't usually get to say to another person as a response.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, happy birthday! And then it makes the other person feel awkward because it's not their birthday and their birthday isn't.
I don't feel awkward. Birthdays happen.
No, they don't. Lies. Lies. They don't just happen.
So what are we doing today?
Well, we're gonna read some Thor.
What? Thor? We
But
read Thor?
First, I need you guys to tell me what happened last time.
Galactus.
Yeah.
Oh, we were finishing off the Galactus story that...
So... I
remember the
Thor hit Galactus really hard with a fucking hammer.
Yeah, well, that was at the end of the issue, but yeah.
I remember the Wookiees ended up living
Yeah, the Wookiees
on...
ended up living on Ego.
That's about all I remember.
Galactus ran away like a big baby bitch.
Yep.
And then, Thor went back to Asgard, and Odin told him the tale of the first planet that Galactus ever eaten.
Which is the Wookiees' planet.
Which was the Wookiees' planet.
Which is not what they're called, but since they're only in 4 issues...
And that's about what I know about what happened
and
last
we won't
episode.
see them again until the 80s, and I don't think we will actually see them again, because they're not in anything that anyone's covering.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much exactly what happened. It was 2 issues and almost nothing.
And then they're in a Galactus one-shot, and I think the Fantastic Four?
So, Galactus and Ego fought for a while, and then Ego saved Thor and the Recorder and the Wanderers.
That's what they're called.
Yeah,
that is what they're
the
called.
Wookiees.
Yes,
The Wookiees.
The Wookiees, yes. And then...
And everyone forgot that the Wanderers ended up living on Ego.
Thor defeated Galactus and sent him packing. And then Ego was like, alright, you guys saved me from Galactus so the Wanderers can live on me.
And they were cool with that.
They were cool with that. And then Ego sent Thor and the Recorder back to Rigel. And then from Rigel, Thor left and went back to Asgard.
Really sent them. He did it personally with his planet powers.
He yoked them.
Yeah, that's true.
Thor went back to Asgard and he met up with the Warriors 3 and Odin made them all watch a PowerPoint about Galactus where we learned absolutely nothing.
Do you think Odin just had that ready to go?
He had a guy.
When he needed to give Thor the Galactus talk? Was this planned? Was this a thing that he'd been waiting to have to tell Thor about when Thor got old enough?
There comes a time in every young man's life
when you need to talk about Galactus, Eater of Worlds.
Well, yes, to some degree, but he didn't make it. He had a guy make it.
Yeah, because he's Odin. He doesn't actually make the PowerPoint. He doesn't find the PowerPoint. He has a guy.
He knows how to delegate.
Yes. You know, when you give your son the talk and you're Odin, you delegate most of that actual work, and you're just there to seem like you're giving the talk.
Do you think Odin actually gave Thor the talk?
Yes.
You think he did?
Yeah.
I think Odin had been giving Thor the talk in a slightly different form most of his life.
Oh boy.
I think he's just one slutty man.
Oh God.
And somewhere along the line, Thor picked up.
And you teach your son what to do because he's gonna be pulling in a lot of babes.
You're drinking in a little too much on the mead horn one evening.
I mean, you're Odin's. It's Odin's son. He's gonna be pulling in babes, so he's
got
to know
a few
what to
too
do.
many flagons.
Yeah,
his son's got to know what to do, and he pulls in the babes. Come on, He's Odin's son. He's got to know these
You
things.
can't be a disgrace to the family.
Exactly.
Don't want to go hearing about Thor's weak dick game.
It'd be an insult to Odin. If Thor Odinson
We all know
has
Odin
weak
shoots his
dick
seed
game,
all over.
if Thor Odinson has weak dick game, it is a direct insult to Odin.
Of course.
His name's right there, Thor Odinson.
You're right. It was a stupid question.
So yes, I think Odin has given him the talk, but not in a friendly, affirming.
No, just kind of talking to himself, and Thor is there.
I suspect there's been a lot of chauvinism, and it's never been age appropriate.
I agree.
Okay.
That's the vibe we're picking up on.
Alright, okay. I understand. Well, let's go ahead and read some comics in that case.
And the galactic talk is very similar.
Yeah, oh.
It's not age appropriate either.
I see. Okay, well, let's read Thor number 163.
In which a flasher threat.
Yeah, are they about to be flashed? Is that
Possibly.
what's happening here?
Possibly. He has pants on.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't mean they're not unzipped, though.
Or, that they might just be like pullaways or something.
Assless. They're assless.
Fucking snap away pants.
Yes,
God.
he's got snap boy pants.
So this comic came out in February of 1969.
Nice.
It was written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Vince Colletta, and lettered by Sam Rosen. All of our standards.
Standard crew, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a Hanes ad.
It is
Amazing.
not.
Where dwell the demon. For those wondering what's up with Haynes, we covered a Peter David comic in our new comic bonus minisode or mini bonusode or whatever we decided to call them.
Yeah,
It's a Hanes ad.
yeah, and you can
Join us over on Patreon at the $5 tier if you'd like to hear that.
Where I will introduce you to a wild world where the collector wants a
Don't
package.
spoil too
Spoilers!
much.
It's only 12 pages, John. You
Hey,
can't say anything.
I'm not. I can say that the collector
is
No.
involved.
is
yeah,
involved.
I think we did actually. No, we didn't.
I can.
No,
if
we can
wanna-
say no more. Let's
you wanna
continue with
edit-
Thor.
Okay, fine. Let's see Thor get flashed.
We pick up with Thor, newly arrived back on Earth to search for his lady Sif.
Some weird perspective on.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Yes.
Sif was missing because
Yeah.
Odin bothered to send her on a mission and she got captured because she's a damsel.
Because she's a girl.
Yep.
Yay!
He feels a deep sense of foreboding, which only increases when he looks at the streets below and sees a military convoy. As he watches, some army guy with a megaphone pops out of a tank to tell the city at large that there is an emergency and all civilians must remain indoors.
You know, fun fact: most civilian roads aren't really designed to handle tanks
No.
like that.
No.
They are not.
That's enough information for the Thunder God, who leaps from his rooftop perch to fly straight down the line of vehicles toward whatever trouble they've been deployed to deal with. And the soldiers all point and gawk and gossip.
Thor T-poses.
Yeah.
Wow.
The general in charge of the situation seems somewhat relieved to see our boy, and immediately spills the beans. Or at least as much of the beans as he has, which isn't many. This area was once home to the city's Atomic Research Center.
Why?
This man's goggles are fucking intense.
Why did the city have an atomic research center in it?
Well, it doesn't anymore because it suddenly vanished, leaving behind this strange whirling funnel of energy.
Composed of mystic, nameless forces? What is going on here?
Well, we'll see. Thor remarks that this must be the danger that attracted Sif's attention, which the general confirms. Okay, step 1. Get inside this funnel. Thor tries hitting it with Mjolnir, but no dice.
Okay.
Do the thing that always works. What? It
It
didn't
didn't
work.
work. Yet, as he stands close to the vortex, he perceives a figure striding toward him. Meanwhile, on Asgard, Odin is in a bad mood.
As he always is.
So, par from the course then.
He's still thinking about Galactus, apparently.
Oh, come on, get off it.
This is a good look, though.
It is. It's not a bad look for him.
It's relatively simple.
He sends for his Keeper of Antiquities, whatever that is.
They have
Librarian.
they have
Librarian,
antiquities?
yeah.
Wait. They have antiquities?
No, he's the museum curator.
No, but the thing is, if I understand it right, there's Thor, there's Odin, there's Bor, and that's kind of where it... Does Bor have a father?
Yeah, Burry.
Does Burry have a father?
No.
There you go.
Well, yes, but consider that each of these men lived for thousands of years.
Yeah, so what's an antiquity when it's only 2 generations ago?
Okay, you say this, but this book, if Burry had it, it would be thousands of years old. It's probably fucking crumbling by now.
Then don't touch it!
Well, that's what they have the Keeper of Antiquities for, John.
Don't touch it without gloves! Even you, Keeper of Antiquities, you should know better.
Well, the Keeper of Antiquities comes to show Odin the Book of Ages. The book has no information about Galactus, so that was a waste of time. Still, Odin declares he must learn the secrets of the incubosphere that Galactus came out of.
Okay, but wait. So, like, he knew enough to give this fucking talk, and he doesn't know there's gonna be something more in the Book of Antiquities that he didn't give this fucking talk from.
See? Clearly he hired
Book of
someone
Ages.
who knows more about Galactus than he does. He doesn't know anything about Galactus.
Doesn't he know something about everything?
Not Galactus.
Debatable.
Okay.
Anyway, the general from earlier, who does not have a name, begs Thor to move back, but Thor declares that he must enter the funnel, whatever the cost. Still, the figures on the other side move closer, now visible to everyone standing outside. The nearby soldiers ready their guns and cannons with no idea what will happen next.
What are those guns?
They're guns, obviously. Normal, everyday, average guns.
No.
They look fine. They look like guns.
They look like normal guns.
They look like someone thought of, what could a gun look like? This maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're getting spoiled by, like, real designs in X-Men.
Where they have real-ass planes.
And real-ass guns. And, like, actual thing.
This is fine. We know what it's supposed to be.
They had an M16. That was an M16, and it was wild.
Hey, it's not as bad as Liefeld.
Oh, God. So you know,
okay.
Unfortunately for X-Men...
He doesn't actually have a long run.
No?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, thank God. I don't want to look at Liefeld's meat people. His misshapen meat folk.
His meat puppets.
His homunculi.
Yeah.
Yet, before anyone can do anything, several powerful arms reach out and grab Thor, pulling him through the energy funnel.
He got exactly what he wanted.
Hey!
He falls in a heap with his captors, carried by their momentum into an ungraceful tangle. He asks what manner of being they are, to which one of them declares that they are mutates, and he is doomed.
Wait, so many things are mutates at this point that it's lost all meaning, but okay, step 1, check.
Yep.
We now know what they are, sort of.
Not one to be threatened, Thor swings his hammer, knocking them all back in one blow. He then sets to beating them into submission, even as he continues to wonder aloud what they are and where they came from.
What's step 2, though? Beat these guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get shot?
No. Yeah, this guy's got a fucking gun.
Yeah.
He's got
like
a gun.
Weird.
He's got a gun, yes. But the gun doesn't hit him, so it's fine.
It doesn't even hit him. Not that it would have probably hurt, but...
Thor also takes the time to declare that if Sif has been harmed, all shall rue this day.
Of course, of course.
On cue, the mutate's leader appears with Sif in tow. Predictably, she is being held captive and warns her lord that their enemies are actually demons
She's
out
just
of
hooked
time.
to like a giant magnet.
So...
They're called attractospheres, obviously.
So this is why Sif was allowed to do a thing. She had to be captured by this weird toad guy.
Yeah.
We got it. You pretty much got it in one.
Thanks,
Nailed
Stan.
it. That's exactly it.
His fucking shoes are useless.
What? Why does he... Should he be wearing shoes?
I wish he was wearing shoes, personally.
Is he wearing shoes?
I do wish he
Do
was
those
wearing
count?
shoes.
Do those count
Then,
as shoes?
rather
Those
than
are like fingerless
toeless
gloves that he
socks.
put on his feet.
He's wearing
Toeless socks.
for his
Those
three
are the
giant
opposite.
toes.
Those are the opposite of those socks with the articulated toes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Sif warns her lord that their enemies are actually demons out of time, but doesn't expand on that at all.
Okay, so
Not mutates?
and then she calls them mutates again.
Yeah. Having defeated everyone else, the Odinson now begins to fight the chieftain, who declares that he is chief because none can match his power. They start fighting, and the mutate leader says some stuff about how his people hate humans because humans don't fight, which the army outside would disagree.
Right.
They were willing to just destroy everything there.
But mutates live for battle and will attack and destroy anything in sight.
My dude,
Why don't you just find some other guys who want to fight and just, fight?
my guy, the army out there will shoot you.
There are guys who want to fight.
Now that we have a good grasp of his moral fiber, Thor has no issues with pummeling this guy. The chieftain tries to use his attractosphere on Thor, but Thor strikes the ground and sends a shockwave that destroys the weapon.
Yeah, he's gonna show him some digestive
And
fiber so he can
he's-
beat the shit out of him.
And Thor says the nay.
Yeah, Thor has been saying the nay at least once per issue for the last several issues.
Yeah.
Thor has been saying Thor says the nay.
It's practically his catchphrase at this point.
It's not a catchphrase anymore, but it was.
Yeah. The mutate leader then retreats into a tunnel while ominously declaring, "There is another." Thor does absolutely nothing to stop him and instead runs to the side of his lady.
What does that mean, there is another?
It means
There's
that
another.
Leia is also Anakin's child.
And she's strong with the Force. She could be a Jedi too.
They embrace for a moment before getting their bearings. Sif explains that the funnel was an entrance to another world. A barren wasteland pockmarked by caverns and filled with machines of war as ancient as they are huge. Clearly this was the ground for some cataclysmic war of an age-long past.
So these guys do like to fight.
West Coast then? Not
No, I
East.
think this is aliens.
It's interesting you should say that. After some walking, the Asgardians arrive in an Earth museum, where they find a poster depicting the transformation of Homo sapiens to mutate with two headers that read, "Committee of Scientists to Stop the Nuclear Bombing," and "Warning, radiation can alter the human race."
Okay, got it.
So this is Philly, okay.
Just in case all of this environmental storytelling wasn't heavy-handed enough for you, Thor declares that they have not entered another world as Sif thought, but actually been transported into the distant future.
You
I'll have
blew
you
it
kn-
all up!
I'll have you know it was Pittsburgh, and that was a great DLC to Fallout.
You blew it all up, you madman! You blew it all up!
Deeper in the caverns, they find the Atomic Research Center that had vanished from NYC.
See.
Upon spying a figure on the walkway below, Thor flies them both down to get the measure of this individual and find out exactly what's happening.
The building is fine.
It's fine. It's totally fine. Nothing has happened.
It's weird.
It's totally normal and fine.
Magic shit or sci-fi shit.
I-
I will accept either.
And both are on option.
It's fun.
Thor notes that it seems like this stranger was expecting them, which is swiftly confirmed by said stranger saying how easy it was to lure Thor here, followed by the declaration of, "I am Pluto, Lord of the Netherworld.
I
And
kind of
you-
thought that's who he might have been from
And-
the cover.
And you, with all who dwell above, are truly doomed."
So the future is the Netherworld, or is he just in the future?
We'll see.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. The Asgardians move to throw down, but Pluto simply raises a hand and,
Whoa! Force lightnings them.
He makes a
Well-
fucking Igor face.
He slows their bodily vibrations,
What?
which makes it so they can't move.
Okay, that's... Sure.
Yeah.
Bodily vibration.
Bodily vibrations.
I'm not comfortable with that phrase.
And now, Mr. Bond, it is time to explain my evil plan. It seems that ever since Thor defeated him last, the Lord of the Underworld has been plotting his revenge, And in the process of doing so, he learned of the future where the Earth has been desolated by nuclear winter, leading to the rise of the mutates, who subjugate what remains of humanity.
Huh.
He immediately decided he has to get these mutates to work for him, and as we all know from Roman and Greek mythology, Pluto has time powers.
Right.
What?
So the first thing he did was to make sure the future would happen by getting rid of the nuclear research center.
If the collar on his coat was supposed to make him look inconspicuous, they very much failed.
Did not accomplish that.
He looks extremely conspicuous.
He wove his time funnel around the entire city block, his notorious time powers, as I said,
Yes.
transporting it into the future. Then, knowing that Thor would be his greatest obstacle, he kidnapped Sif and lured Thor here so that they could fight on Pluto's own terms.
I'm sorry. His
Why did he
enchanted in Eterna power?
Yeah, time powers.
His enchanted time powers,
I
not
really-
just regular
I
time
really
powers.
don't know how and why he would assume that Thor would be the one that will come to respond to this.
Because...
I mean, especially before Sif was involved.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, once Sif's involved, yes.
Well, no,
but-
because even before that, he's like, I knew Thor was going to be my biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just putting out flypaper.
The irony
and,
when Iron Man shows up.
Right, exactly.
And, well, now he has to defeat Iron Man, who's just a dude in a suit.
Or, the actual guy who you should be fighting, aka Hercules.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I guess he just put out flypaper and hoped Thor would fall into it eventually.
He'd just fight whoever came along until it was Thor.
Yes.
Well, the perfectly timed ending of his TED Talk is followed immediately by Thor breaking free of the vibrational field and going on the attack once more.
Allowing his bodily vibrations to resume.
Exactly.
Yes. His normal bodily vibrations.
As we all do. However, before Thor can bridge the gap between them, he is struck by some kind of cannon wielded by one of the loyal mutates. With that dealt with, they can now march on the 20th century before the Asgardians recover, while also eluding the mysterious being that slumbers within the nuclear research facility. However, as we peek inside said facility, we view a coffin ominously opening to reveal a being shrouded in mystery.
Interesting.
And that's the end of the issue, so
Alright.
we're gonna go to...
This is weird. What does that cover? Let's see.
So we're
Odin
gonna-
is made of goo and he's melting.
Yeah, and green.
So we're gonna go on to Thor number 164.
Lest mankind fall.
This is a stupid outfit.
From March of 1969.
Nice.
Written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Vince Colletta, and lettered by Sam Rosen.
Alrighty, same crew from last time.
Pluto sheds his overcoat, revealing the fit that he picked out for taking over Earth.
Okay, this is a better color combination
It
than on the
is.
front.
It's still a weird outfit, but it is.
I can see why he went for the covering that he did
Yeah.
with the giant collar and the weird fucking shoulder piece.
I wish I had a cape.
Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what?
this would really do well with a cape.
Yeah.
A cape, especially with the shoulder pads and the
Yes.
giant collar.
Yes.
Do you think he? No. It's completely different style than anything Odin's ever worn.
Mm-hmm.
They don't shop at the same store,
No, definitely not.
but they do have weird senses of taste.
Thor and Sif are not quite as staggered as we left them, which, aside from the inconsistency, means that old Plutz still has to deal with them.
Woman creature, be silent!
He's also decided
Oh boy.
He's also decided in the span of the last few seconds that he does want to kill the being that sleeps in the research building, actually.
Sure. Not making it up as he goes along. No way.
And yeah, one of the mutates calls Sif a woman creature.
Yeah. Hey, mutate, do you want to get laid? Don't call them women creatures.
I
All
don't
the
think-
mutates care about is fighting.
Exactly, but I also think anyone will be probably able to notice that after you've held someone at gunpoint, you're probably not going to get fucking laid anyway.
Well, I don't think John was implying that this mutate wanted to fuck Sif.
I'm talking in general.
In general.
Yeah.
If
The way you treat women.
Yes, you don't treat women like that, unnamed mutate.
Maybe he's gay, John. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, no.
That makes his misogyny fine.
Yeah, that does not clean the misogyny that he clearly has.
Anyway, across the Bifrost, Baldur has showered and
Oh,
exited
God.
his bachelor pad.
Oh god, we're back on this.
We forgot about Baldur's fucking boner dream.
I do love her.
And he is now racing his horse aimlessly through the countryside in an attempt to vent his frustration. Yet still, he is plagued by visions of Karnilla.
The boner remains.
Baldur, masturbate. For fuck's sake. Learn. No, Thor did not have the talk with Baldur.
No, he didn't. He had to rush out to rescue Sif.
No, Odin didn't have the talk with him. He's never explained how
Okay,
women
so
work.
I guess maybe we have to reconsider this thing about Thor.
No, Thor is the chosen child.
That's true.
That's
Thor's
true.
the favored.
So Thor gets all the lessons. Baldur got the
Middle child.
and the promise to never get hurt ever by everything, and job done.
Yep. So, I'm unclear on whether Baldur is imagining this or if Karnilla is actually fucking with him. Though he is having legitimate feelings for her, so I'm leaning towards the former.
If he's horny enough.
He's just being a dramatic bitch about his crush. That's all. Suddenly, Baldur comes upon Odin sitting on his royal porch with a book in his lap.
Is it the same book from
Yes,
before?
indeed it is. He entreats Odin to grant him peace, but Odin regretfully informs the loyal warrior that this is beyond his power. Even he cannot sway the heart, or maybe refuses to.
Yeah.
However,
He's proven pretty bad at swaying the heart up to this point, so
Yeah.
I'm willing to believe it.
that's true. Fucking years of, no, you can't marry Jane, fuck off.
That's not swaying the heart. That's manipulating your son.
However, he offers Baldur a chance to escape and forget, if only for a time.
Wait, what the fuck is going on with Baldur's fucking head and neck and shoulder situation here?
He has them.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure he has a neck?
All three, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure he has a neck. He has the other two. I'm not sure about the neck.
The Allfather shoots him off to Earth, where he arrives.
T-poses.
He arrives just a block or two away from the energy funnel, which transported his friends.
God, Baldur just goes from boner to boner. Remember when he was all caught up on Sif?
Wow.
Yeah, he's just a man whore.
God.
My dude, learn to masturbate. It'll be fine.
The very same friends who now stand between Pluto's army and the nuclear research facility behind them.
Back at the other plot, the much weirder plot.
Yeah. The two of them are the Earth's last hope. And so, rather than wait for his enemy's move, Thor lashes out, felling 12 mutates in a single strike of his hammer.
Hold
For
it.
Asgard!
Wait,
What?
is the thing inside the building dangerous?
We don't know. We don't know what it is.
So killing it could be a good thing.
We don't know. They're not specifically defending the thing in the facility, they're just trying to fight Pluto.
Fair.
Yeah.
Still more press in, their numbers seemingly endless. As they fight, Thor calls that though Sif is free to fight, the right to face Pluto is his alone. In response, Sif warns him that the self-same Pluto is creeping up at his side at this exact moment, which gives him the opportunity to spin around and sucker punch him.
Nice. Well, it's not a sucker punch. He was right there asking for it.
Sif is actually holding her own, which is nice to see, but rings somewhat hollow when she was a damsel just last issue.
Yeah.
Basically, she's a badass only when it's convenient.
Unfortunately.
Now face to face, the god of the Netherworld claims that he has powers to rival even Odin himself. Blasphemy, cries the Thunder God. None are equal to the Allfather.
I mean...
My dad's awesome.
And besides, he has more than brute strength. That's right, boys and girls. Stan remembered that Thor can time travel.
Oh no!
No.
Our hero begins to whirl his hammer, intent on returning them all to the 20th century. Sif is being overwhelmed now because girls can only fight for like 5 minutes, I guess.
I mean, she is fighting off like a whole bunch of dudes.
And she doesn't have a magical hammer.
That's true. She can teleport, though.
That's true.
Great
point. How the fuck did she get trapped here? She can fucking teleport.
Yeah.
Because she has to be helpless.
Of course. Outside the time funnel, Balder has arrived and announces himself to the soldiers. The army guys identify him as a friend of Thor and let him through, which I'm not going to question because I imagine the Asgardians are fairly noticeable both by their clothes and their accent.
Also, they're willing to sacrifice Asgardians.
But I am wondering if any old joker could put on a cape and armor and pretend to be an Asgardian and people would just be like, oh yeah, he must be friends with Thor, let's let him into this secure facility.
But I mean,
right
hasn't
this way, random dude.
he specifically has been seen with them.
I would love the in-universe version of Catch Me If You Can, in which Leonardo DiCaprio pretends to, at times, be a superhero
Yeah.
and gets away with it.
Yeah.
Pretends to have powers, pretends to be an Asgardian, and people just buy it.
Yeah. That would be fun, actually. The unnamed general from earlier explains the situation to Best Boy Balder, who declares that he must follow his comrades. He tests the funnel with his blade, but finds that he cannot so much as pierce the vortex.
Did the weird forces here promise not to hurt him?
That's a great question.
Because,
Yet again, as he stands near, he notes a figure approaching, and calls a warning to the surrounding mortals. Suddenly, an enormous flash of blinding light illuminates the city as the atomic research facility reappears.
I like that they put it back right where it was.
very nice of them.
A billowing cloud of smoke and dust accompanies it, and from it bursts Thor and Sif. They greet Balder, and quickly catch him up on the situation before both they and the gathered soldiers turn to meet Pluto at the head of his mutate army. The general orders everyone to fire at will, but Pluto has thrown up some sort of barrier which their shells cannot penetrate.
Oh, come on, the mutates wanted a fight. They're getting a fight. Let them fight.
He gloats about this just before Thor throws the Uno reverse card and undoes the force field.
Let me see you clap your hands.
Hey, they're getting their fight.
Well, we're gonna cut away, because at that very moment, on Mount Olympus,
Well,
Zeus is looking rough.
That's Zeus.
That's Zeus.
Hey, Zeus, I think you need a shave and a haircut, my dude.
He's not looking so hot.
Also, what's with the face?
He's extremely hairy.
It's a fucking eyebrow waxing.
Yeah.
We just need to do something about all of that hair.
Well, Zeus receives
very hirsute.
Zeus receives a dire message. His own brother, who had been banished to the underworld, now threatens to take over the earth. Athena shows up for a panel to be like, what's good? And Zeus is like, well, this just won't stand, and he does something. Down on the ground, it's become all-out war.
Well, they got their war.
Thor versus Pluto, and the mutates versus the good old US of A.
It's pretty fun, though.
I
like seeing the regular soldiers just like fighting wild dudes.
They got their war, though this isn't what war looks like.
One of the mutates has a gun that melts buildings, so that's a problem.
They told everyone to stay inside.
Yeah, but America has planes, I guess.
Mortal though it is, humanity is not defenseless.
Those planes look fucking stupid as shit.
They do.
I don't know how the planes help, but they're here, so...
What are they shooting?
Yeah, what the fuck are they shooting?
I don't know.
Purple. They shot something purple, and whatever it is,
maybe
died.
it's like the turret the guy was standing on, but
Maybe.
What? No.
They shot a purple thing, and it's dead now.
I'm unclear.
I'm glad the purple thing's dead.
At the very least, it seems like Balder's having a good time, because he got his wish.
And he can't get hurt. It's great.
And he can't get hurt, and he's not thinking about his boner.
Excellent.
I hope no one notices it.
Everybody wins.
Pluto sets himself on fire.
As you do.
What?
I mean, like, catch your person off guard, I guess that works.
He claims that the fire makes him impervious somehow.
That's unexpected, but
yeah.
You don't catch on fire.
Well,
I mean, like, maybe you do.
Well, I mean...
Catching on fire's a pretty baller move.
Yes, it is, but...
You say that, but here's the thing. He's fighting a weather god.
Yeah.
So Thor just calls down a storm that douses him.
Problem solved.
Yet still, the god of the underworld continues to boast about how much power he has, and how he's now going to deal with them with but a single gesture.
My brother in Christ, your great power was to catch yourself on fire.
As he raises his hand into the air in preparation to... Then Zeus pops up out of nowhere and yells at his brother before sending him back to the underworld.
My brother in Christ, my ass, my brother in me!
Everything is fine now, all the enemies are gone. Yet another glorious ending to an epic Thor comic.
That was fucking stupid.
Okay, wait, what's in the box?
Yeah.
However, before we leave,
What's in the box?
Sif
What's in the
ponders
box?
about
What's in the box?
Sif ponders about the being sleeping in the atomic research facility. Did not Pluto speak of such a creature? We zoom into the building, down the hallway to the room with the open coffin.
Sausages explode from inside it.
The figure of a man, wrapped from head to toe, begins to breathe, and a single hand breaks free from the chrysalis.
That's not a hand. My ass, that's a hand.
That is not a hand.
Hot dogs break free from the chrysalis.
There we go.
So what you're telling me is that this story really existed because there's a man in a box
Yeah.
with sausage fingers.
Yeah.
And that's what we really...
We've been fighting over sausage fingers
Yes.
over here.
This is the real A story.
So...
And
That was some
the
weak
B
ass
story.
shit.
So, when I got to the end of this, I was like, oh, John's gonna hate this. Because it's another one of those endings that you hate, where Odin, except this time it's Zeus, pops out of nowhere and solves everything.
Yeah, I really hate it a lot.
No, it's
Nothing
worse.
even happened.
It's
They didn't
worse.
even do anything cool with fucking... And we brought back traveling in time with the fucking hammer again. We're back on this shit.
It's actually
We've-
worse.
Everything is so much worse.
Because
I'm really
the
unhappy
actual
with Stan
story,
right now.
The actual story here in this issue is these 3 panels. That's it. That's the story that's of any relevance at all. Everything else that happened, these 3 panels, a panel or 2 in the other issue, that's the only stuff that's going to matter
Yeah.
in the next one.
I'm rather perturbed with Stan at the moment. Between this and the fucking Galactus story, I'm about at my wit's fucking end.
Yeah, that Haynes ad wasn't so bad, was it?
That Haynes ad is looking pretty good in
Well,
hindsight.
well, I have some good news.
Are we?
We
You gonna give us our
are-
countdown?
Yup, this was issue number 164. So the first issue with Jerry Conway is number 193, which means we are T-minus 29 issues away.
Oh,
Ugh,
sweet Jesus.
That's such good news.
Not soon enough.
Stan's really getting to the end of his...
Great, I got like 15 more episodes of Stan or whatever.
Stan's really getting to the end of his run, isn't he?
When he's good, but man, he has not been good for a while now.
How long had he been writing Marvel Comics to this point?
Quite a while.
So yeah, he kind of was running out of steam, wasn't he?
How would you guys rate these 2 issues?
Do they deserve a 1?
They're not incomprehensible enough to
True.
deserve a 1.
True.
They're a comic, but they're a bad comic. They're a 2, a
And-
solid 2.
And the problem is, they've done this same basic setup and end.
And Thor didn't even get to be cool at any point in this, unless you call him Deus Ex Machinaing them back with his fucking time panels.
Which we only remember because it was relevant.
We consider that fucking cool. That's the only fucking cool thing he did at any point.
And it takes away the...
And Zeus just came up and went, hey,
The-
little brother or big brother or whatever the fuck you are, bro, stop fucking up my shit.
This is my shit. You don't do this. You go back to the underworld.
It's all my shit. Fuck off.
And problem solved.
And then everybody, the military, Thor and Sif and Balder, they're all just like, okay,
Everything's fine now.
that's great.
It's all good.
'Twas a day's new dawning.
So, wait, does that mean that there are just mutates here from the future? Just in New York now?
I think the soldiers killed them all. They're all just dead now. Or maybe Zeus took them.
Yeah, Zeus took them away as well.
So,
good.
they're now...
Yeah, he did, actually.
So there are mutates from the future that Zeus took somewhere.
I think he just put them back where they came from.
Because everyone's got time powers now. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has fucking time
Yeah,
powers.
so-
This is exactly what I wanted.
I want everyone to have time powers, so,
Why doesn't he get to do any cool Viking shit, huh?
I know.
Why am I sitting here watching him do time powers again and again, and then go fight Galactus a while? I guess that was kind of cool and refreshing, even if it was done badly.
It was unique.
It was something.
You know, you really soured to the last issue, the last Thor set.
Well,
since last time.
I'm being spoiled now.
No joke. You are not as sour to the last two Thor issues as you are now.
Well, it doesn't help that we're reading really good X-Men comics in between this.
Yeah.
And also, that Galactus story immediately followed by this bullshit.
Right, the Galactus story was really meh.
It was,
and then it was followed by this, and we just completely dropped the Galactus thing. I mean, I guess Odin's still kind of fucking concerned about it, so we do have it slightly backburnered a little bit.
Odin's
but, like,
worried about it. But
Thor doesn't care at all about it.
yeah, Thor's moved on. Thor has moved on from Galactus.
I guess I will give credit. Odin is looking into it, but I just you're not gonna think at all about the thing you just did. It's never gonna come to mind.
Nah, I'm gonna go into the future because
I'm way more interested in fucking Baldur's boner plot.
True, it is more interesting than Thor finding, oh, I'm in the future. Oh, I can fix that. And I fixed that. Problem solved. There's no real...
I'm more interested in Baldur's boner angst.
Because there's stakes. There are actual stakes in that. Then Thor finding out, oh, I'm in the future. I can fix that. And he did. What were the stakes?
He didn't fix it, though.
But
fucking Zeus fixed it.
Well, Thor fixed being in the future.
Yeah? Wow, that's great.
That's the problem. That's my point. That is the problem. It was too easy for Thor, and then Zeus fixed the rest of it.
I'm being very crabby about this, and I'm sorry.
It's fair to be salty about it when you've got a B and a C story, and, I don't know, a D story? You've got what?
Odin reads a book, Baldur has a boner,
and whatever the hell's in the box.
And whatever the fuck, what's in the box?
And these three stories are infinitely more interesting than Thor went to the future, fought Pluto, came back, and Zeus fixed it.
It's even worse than fucking Odin fixes it, because this isn't your book, Zeus!
You don't even go to this school.
Anyway, yeah, I'm really crabby with Stan right now. I've been growing crabbier and crabbier with Stan as we go.
Yeah, he needs to... It's 1969.
Nice.
Aren't you done? Why can't you be done? No, I think we have to wait till 71.
I actually encountered a story with Stan way later in the chronology.
Really?
It was not... I'm not gonna say it was a good story. It was a very pretty, it was beautiful, whoever did the art. It was the Silver Surfer story where aliens showed up and took everyone in the planet onto their little planet thing to be their slaves. And then, I guess the Silver Surfer fixed that by hooking up with the guy who did all that's wife or whatever. So that worked out great. This is what I'm remembering of it, but it was really unimpressive both times I read it, because I read it twice.
Why did you read it twice?
Because I have OCD and I am trapped in my own rules.
But it's Silver Surfer! Who?
It showed up in Scott's reading order.
Oh no.
And then when I went back through to start reading all the X-Men stuff I didn't read, it was in there again, so I just read it again.
Okay, fair. So... the thing is, it feels like when it comes to new ideas,
we're trapped in place, and I'm tired of it.
He still has some ideas, but he wants to keep them close to the vest.
Produced the same fucking way. I'm just tired of it. I'm growing on Jack's art more and more, I'm enjoying Jack's art the more we go,
don't get me wrong.
Stan's story less.
Jack Kirby can draw.
Anyway, I'm being very mean tonight.
And we're back. We're gonna do another issue really quick because we came up kind of short.
We never left, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And through the magic of editing.
So...
him!
We're gonna go ahead and cover Thor number 165 from April of 1969.
Nice.
Written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Vince Colletta, lettered by Artie Simek.
Alright. I like this cover.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's very stark.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of dynamic posing.
Mm-hmm.
And there is basically no background.
Oh, yeah.
Other than a light source.
Mm-hmm. Him does not have toes.
No, him doesn't.
Him!
Thor, Sif, and Balder all salute as the army retreats in the aftermath of Pluto's defeat.
Okay.
Once all the soldiers are gone, the driver of the tank they're standing on
What's with
remarks...
the fucking peace bands?
I don't know.
It's weird.
The driver of the tank they're standing on remarks on how they must be exhausted since they apparently just stood like that for over an hour while everyone left. Thor says they had to do this, bafflingly.
We merely did what must be
we
done.
had to support the troops. It was the
We
most
had to
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
our weapons up
I
in
suppose.
celebration of the troops who fought and died fighting the mutates.
Well, they disembark to go speak with the general. Thor informs the general of the mysterious being that Pluto spoke of.
General No Name, something's coming.
Right. He says that they're now going to go inside the atomic facility to investigate. And the general is like, yeah, whatever, I can't stop you. But it's government property, so don't damage it.
I don't have the authority to prevent you from risking your necks. Mr. General, sir.
You can tell them they can't go in.
I
yeah.
think you have the authority to tell them not to.
Yeah.
You are one of the few people in this panel who has the authority to tell these gods no.
Yeah. Well, before we get into that, we turn to the domain of the Norn Queen.
Oh, this is
we
dramatic.
need to-
I like it.
We need to get back to
Balder's
Carnilla
boner.
and, yes, Balder's boner.
Carnilla is dripped out and lounging on her evil throne.
She sure is.
She summons a seeress, seeking counsel. She's a bit miffed still that Balder rejected her, but can't do anything about it since he's completely untouchable.
Well, you don't need to. Good news.
Hag, the seeress, with two
Subtle.
A's, pulls out her giant freaky hand.
No, hold on. I saw something great. Cirrus, I say thee nay.
Yeah.
Everyone talks like that here.
Yeah, duh. No shit. She pulls out her giant freaky hand
Ugh.
and dances over to a magic vision pool where Carnilla conjures a vision of brave Balder. She's prepared to grab him, apparently transporting him from there to here, but Carnilla tells her to wait so that they can see what's going on.
You might want to watch and find out what he's doing before you just yoink him out from wherever he is.
Sif, your forehead is too big.
Yeah.
But we're gonna ignore the seers everything.
Yeah.
Well, she's supposed to be ugly, quite clearly, so...
Fair. Sif's head is weirdly proportioned.
Balder and Sif follow Thor through the facility, searching for the mysterious being. After some wandering, they all begin to hear a faint humming sound, and upon walking toward its source, are startled when a blinding light bursts forth, followed by a sudden earthquake.
I do sense a maddening aura of alien power.
Yep, she can do that.
She knows it's alien.
It's maddening.
You say alien, but...
She says it's alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't say it. Stan made her say it.
At the end of the hallway, the unknown man-shaped creature rises and bursts forth from his cocoon. Once more reborn, he identifies his surroundings as Earth, though he has no idea how he got here. He moves to exit the room, but outside stands the Asgardian trio.
That is a horrible rebirth.
Thor introduces himself and prompts the stranger to do likewise. This being, apparently, is known only as him,
Uh-huh.
and last appeared in Fantastic Four.
Hey, him? What's up with the tan? Like, I get it. You were created by those who sought to father a new, all-powerful race, but you also have a dye job and a spray
And
tan.
you're also kind of orange.
Yeah.
Huge.
Stan is
It's just huge.
huge. Yeah. Stan is going to helpfully recount his origin for us now. He was created as some kind of ultimate being by some scientists who were evil, and because they were evil, he killed them. He then fled the planet, disgusted with the human race, and wandered among the stars.
Huh.
At least until he was drawn into a trap and retreated into his healing cocoon once more, catching the briefest glimpse of a spaceship before he was swallowed.
And somehow he got on Earth.
Well, we're not done yet. The spaceship belongs to the Watcher, who
Who-
looks different from how I remember.
And,
This
wait.
is not quite. He looks more like Daredevil Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, kind of.
Also, isn't... Hey, Watcher? Aren't you supposed to not?
Well, apparently he created this trap to study meteors and didn't expect a living being to become caught in it.
That still sounds like interfering, my dude.
He has sworn an oath to never interfere in the lives of others, but due to his negligence, he has no choice. He uses a tractor beam to move the cocoon, depositing him inside of an American satellite, which is preparing for re-entry.
That's extremely interfering.
Yeah.
You could not interfere harder if you tried.
Thus, him was returned to the planet that he hated. Having heard this tale, Thor seeks to reason with him. Capital H him, by the way.
Yes.
He has experienced only a small portion of what humanity has to offer, and it's wrong to judge the entire planet based on a few bad people.
But he's gonna do it anyway.
Him has no intention of listening to this, but he has apparently decided that he is lonely and he thinks Sif is pretty, so she will be his mate.
Wow! And here I thought he was just going to fight them. No, he's gonna be worse.
Thor's like, no, she's mine.
It's my girl.
Fuck.
Sif says they're talking like children, which I would have to agree with. Him insists that everyone other than Sif has to leave now, but Thor is not appreciative of this and speaks a word of caution.
Him, are you just gonna bone down right here, right now?
Party time.
Well, him declares that Sif is his. Unga bunga, we fight now. He flings both Thor and Balder back, then turns to grab Sif, who is seemingly not doing anything other than yelling at him, even though she has her fucking sword out.
I think she's elbowing him in the head.
But him is unaffected by elbows.
I am begging for any level of agency here.
Yeah.
Nah, she...
I'm getting pretty sick of it.
Sif is a potted plant and gets moved around from place to place by other people.
The actual trope is the sexy lamp. In fact.
I don't know, I kind of like potted plant.
Yeah. Him then creates a vortex which transports both of them to a distant dimension before the horrified eyes of Balder and Thor.
Wait, is that a thing?
If he didn't want to be on Earth, couldn't he just do that?
Yeah.
True. So why did he fly into...
The latter of which swears with a heavy heart that he will find his love.
Shouldn't take long. You know a guy who can see everything.
The Thunder God gathers Balder to his side before spinning up a vortex of his own to give chase.
That's what I was about to ask, though. Can't Thor do that?
Yes, he can. At this moment, in the realm eternal, Odin's astrologer royal...
Astrologer.
Oh, astrologer, that is a word. You're correct.
Yes, astrologer is the word.
Astrologer!
Astrologer!
It's astrologer! Astrologer!
Well, you see, in Final Fantasy XIV, there's a class called Astrologian.
Oh no, you've been corrupted.
Nerd!
All the things you've learned, and that's what's corrupted you.
Yeah. Well... The astrologer.
Yes,
Okay.
you mean the
So
astrologer.
he's here to tell Odin his fucking horoscope, right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Odin needs to know
Because
if the stars are
astrology
aligning.
and astronomy are not the same thing.
Yeah.
What?
Well, the astrologer has called up a hidden galaxy on the flat screen at Odin's behest. The Allfather seeks the land that Galactus is from, but they're having some difficulty with that. Odin declares that he is not to be summoned again until they find what he is after, so this diversion was pointless.
So apparently we're still on this deep D story, or whatever it is.
Odin's obsession with Galactus,
Oh,
yeah.
We can't get off of Odin obsessing about Galactus, and in the weirdest way, too, because why do we care about where he came from?
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Maybe there we'll find his secret weakness somewhere buried in his past.
You know, assuming
Perhaps.
he didn't eat it.
The boys appear in a barren wasteland, entirely unfamiliar to them. They spot him, still with Sif in his grasp, and rush forward. For some reason, Sif implores them to hold back, saying that him doesn't know what he's doing. He's just lonely and he hasn't harmed her. And
why are we saying this? Why are we assuming this?
And sure, but he did kidnap you, and he is intending to make you his mate against your will.
And he zapped her away to another realm of some kind, and the only reason it's not as big a deal is because Thor could follow.
Yeah, so I think we have some reasons to be upset here.
Yeah.
But whatever, Stan, okay. Thor says that he could forgive him so long as he vows not to do it again, but him lashes out while crying, "I make no vows!"
Some sort of beam.
Some sort of beam.
It's time for beams.
Beams. Baldur moves forward to avenge his fallen brother, struck down by such an honorless attack. Suddenly, a shockwave emanates from him, shattering the ground beneath their feet. At this point, Thor has had fucking enough, and declares that him must be destroyed.
What is that face?
Before anyone does anything else, though, Baldur draws our attention to something forming behind him. It's the seeress, Hag, reaching forward to seize Baldur and deprive Thor of his help in the hopes that the Thunder God may die.
Timing.
Well, that was intentional.
Yeah.
Thor attempts to force her to let go, delivering a mighty blow, which seems to not do much. Then he summons fire onto his hammer.
Which
he can do.
A thing he can do.
For some reason.
Okay.
Actually, hasn't he done that before?
Yes, he has.
How
which is
many...
why it's a thing he can do.
Oh,
well, that would be a thing he could do whether he did it before or not.
It's true.
Stan, at least you're remembering things you've made Thor do.
Well, he remembered the time travel.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, that's important. He remembered these things. Wait.
Thor uses his fire hammer to blast Hag back. That seems to have dealt with the issue for the moment.
Meanwhile, him.
So the warriors turn their attention back to saving Sif. However, while they were otherwise occupied, him made good his escape.
Pussy.
Thor runs off through the blighted land, desperately searching for his lady. Baldur, clutching his arm that was grasped by Hag, hobbles after and tries to offer some words of encouragement, even as Thor's imagination takes a turn for the worst. Usually so hopeful and cheery, Thor is now questioning if he will even be able to find him again, much less defeat him. Still, he won't stop, for he must seek his lady Sif and wreak vengeance upon the villain that abducted her.
Okay, I think he could, though. He could follow Sif's aura of free-flowing electrons.
Yeah,
but all
free-flowing
Asgardians
electrons.
Yes. Come on. What, you don't think the hammer can't help?
The hammer could do it.
I bet Odin could just show up with a fucking solution. That'd be great.
Or just go ask, Heimdall, with his all-seeing eyes, where Sif is.
We constantly forget that Heimdall can do that.
And then use the Bifrost to go there. I don't know. There's 5 different solutions to this problem.
Yeah.
That they can do in the next 5 minutes.
It's impossible.
Look, this isn't Jane. Heimdall doesn't have an order or something to help keep Thor away from Jane. From Sif.
They're interchangeable at this point, aren't they?
They kinda are. Oh God.
Yep.
Oh God, they are.
Sif's like half a step better than Jane.
She's there.
She can fight sometimes.
When she's not on screen.
So, that's our quick third issue. Was very fast.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that issue?
It's better.
Ripley has gotten so salty about Stan.
I guess I'm gonna give it a 3. It's a comic. It's better than what we've had before, but it's still underwhelming.
Him.
A comic.
It is the comic of all time.
3. What about you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Stan, you are breaking me.
So that's T-minus 28 now, right?
Yep. We're whittling it down. We're getting there, baby. baby.
Well, we've got 28 more issues of Thor until we get to
Jerry Conway.
And
Jerry
who
Conway.
knows what Jerry Conway will give us? We don't actually know. We just want to get away from Stan. We're actually...
We love you, Stan.
You meant a lot. You were
an icon.
An icon and a legend, but you wrote this far too long.
Yeah.
You should have walked away eventually.
Well, next time we're not going to be back with Thor, so we can get a brief reprieve from our
That's
death
just going to
slog.
make it worse when we go back.
As we keep on going back into the 70s and dip our toe in the 80s, then we go back to 1969.
Well, we're going to be back on that next time. Shoot us an email over at comicsplaining@gmail.com. Whatever you want to do, talk with us. If you want to talk to us about the comic we just read along with us maybe, you could join us over on Discord where we've got our comic book club.
Please tell us your thoughts about Stan Lee's writing in the late 60s.
Or just join up to talk about anything else. We chitter-chatter about this, that, and the other thing. But you can also hit us up over on our social media. We are on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram, Comicsplaining all of those locations. You can also watch a video version of the show over on YouTube if you want to see some of the spectacular faces and Him's toeless feet.
Don't forget to subscribe on Patreon for the bonus episode.
Yes, so you can hear
I put work into that bonus sode.
High-Tech Heroes presented by Hayden.
Although that's not what it calls itself. That's what everything else calls it. It's weird.
God only knows what the fuck that was about, but Marvel's back catalog on their library is organized so terribly.
This is just par for the course. That's the thing. It's an advertisement, and its naming convention makes no sense, but that's just par for the course with Marvel's naming convention.
You would never guess that this stars Guardians of the Galaxy, but spoiler, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy. So join us over there. You can also throw us a couple bucks over on coffee if you want to, but if you can't afford to throw us a couple bucks, we totally understand that. Just rate us, review us on your podcatcher of choice. Recommend us to your friends. That would be the most helpful thing you could do, frankly. All that aside, we're going to be back at you next week with the X-Men as things really start to kick into high gear.
And
then we get to come back to Thor.
And we really get to feel the difference between a few years makes.
We look forward to talking to you then. Bye!
Bye!